This is Dabu 7. We have moves being made by Russia. They are saying that missiles are now being sent into the Kaliningrad area. And I've spoke about this area before, the importance. I don't think people out there realize exactly what this is. I mean, some do, but I don't think the big picture is painted as to what this area specifically is in this game of chess. When it comes to all these countries, it comes to Russia, it comes to NATO, this massive buildup that we've seen of military being sent into Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, the continuation of all these massive drills, everything going on around the Baltic, everything going on with Ukraine, eastern Ukraine, with Crimea, with them sending new weaponry into Crimea here recently. And now they're stating that they're sending these new S-400 Triumph medium-range and long-range surface-to-air missile systems to Kaliningrad. Now, this area is strategically key. When we look in here, I want you to notice here, we have Ukraine and then Crimea, which Russia has snatched up. And they have the Black Sea Fleet here, positioned here, and right here is Istanbul. Okay? This is where Kaliningrad is. It is the most western territory out of the whole Russian Federation. And it sits right in here. And they took control of this from the Germans after the World War, and it was given the name that it has now in 1946. But this is a strategic place. They say that it was strategically important during the Cold War, and that the Soviet Baltic Fleet was headquartered in this area. And they say that the port of the city, right, that sits right here on the port side of this was the only Russian seaport said to be ice-free year-round. The only. And not connected to mainland Russia. You can see how this is situated here. Now, they're sending missiles. This is key. I talked about this spot before. From land, sea, and air, this is a key post for Russia. You can see Lithuania. Here recently I've talked about Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. They have a military presence now stacked along this whole border with Russia, with ongoing drills here in Lithuania. They've been warning their people potential war with Russia. Russia has been on the daily battling the back and forth with what's going on in Ukraine. And you have these different fronts. Now, let's not forget here that we have Syria down here seeing a lot of action as well. Istanbul is key, especially the waterway and the port that goes through here. The one passageway from the Black Sea down and into the Mediterranean. It is a very key point. And, well, guess who's now sitting right across from it? The Russians. There's even prophecy that speaks of the Russians taking Old Constantinople. But as you can see here, this area is surrounded by NATO. If they're going to get the nukes there, they're going to have to fly it over one of these countries, something. Go all the way out and around through the water with it. What? It's a key spot strategically for them, but they're surrounded all the way around. They do have the port out. Just seems to me this is one place to pay attention to big time. They're saying because of the buildup, they're now sending these weapons there. And if they want to continue this, they could arm this place with nukes, is what they're talking about. Taking the steps to try to scare NATO off. And it was back, I think, 2009 when they finally said, okay, we're not going to move the nukes that they were threatening to move into certain places. But in 2007, they had declared that if U.S.-controlled missile defense systems were deployed in Poland, which they were, nuclear weapons might be deployed in Kaliningrad. And then later, they officially said they suspended that idea. But something to pay attention to here on the world stage. This is a key spot, and now they're talking about moving big weaponry into it. And this could be the one thing that sparks the whole powder keg. What's also very interesting is when you look back at that Chinese rover pic from the Chinese Space Agency, when they had put their rover on display, there was a picture of a globe in the background as if it was on the moon looking at Earth. And on Earth, just quietly sitting there in the image, was a massive mushroom cloud. And it came from this vicinity. So definitely a spot to keep your eyes on. Kaliningrad surrounded. Now they're moving big weapons in there. That's some of the latest here with what's going on in this region. And you have to remember that this is something that has been, years in the making, with moving all of this equipment, training all these troops through NATO and all these other countries. Russia has been conducting some of the biggest drills in history. Let's not forget about it. Moving all these people, millions and millions of people in a matter of days. The atmosphere is definitely primed for something. And let's just hope it doesn't lead to some kind of massive confrontation. There's been ongoing fighting in all these places, but when they start to move in the big guns into some of these areas like Kaliningrad, it's something to pay attention to. I will leave a link in the description box, and I'll update with more. If we see any more movement, any other countries making moves, things of that nature, make sure to check out our recent sponsor, Essential Drugstore, for any of you out there looking to stock up on any medical supplies, insulin, antibiotics, things of that nature, anything for a crisis situation. I'll leave links below, and also make sure you check me out on Twitter and hit me up, Dabu7, yahoo.com, if you got anything you want me to get out there. Much love, y'all.